probably for a couple of months there, right, basically sample when MUS sampled, just to verify what results they were getting. And the lab fees, let's see, the lab fees went over the budget about, is $1,938. We just, as far as our cost goes, we just built that in, we didn't bill you for it basically because we were already out there on other stuff. So, we're thinking there may be one more sampling event this year, this fiscal. So that budget for, it's PO 252,581 would, need to be adjusted about $2,600. If that second sampling event is not required, then there would be some savings there, but I think we probably ought to increase that about $2,600.
And that's reflected in your pass-through line item.
That's passed through, yeah, strictly lab fees.
Small dollar amounts, but Stephanie wanted some direction in terms of when we're over budget for a line, that she wanted the board to have some input. It's one of those things we're probably gonna be obligated to do, but it would be helpful to get a motion from the board if you're comfortable with it.
Is that the budget column on the summary that's at 178.8? Does it fall into that category under sampling?
That's the line I'm looking at.
It's leachate sampling and reporting.
So we need to increase that 178 to a number. What does that need to be?
Plus 2,600.
Plus 2,600, so I would make that motion.
All right, so we have a motion, do we have a second? Second. Motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye. All right, Steve, there are a couple more, aren't there?
Well, there was one more. She questioned that, I think it was one that we hadn't billed to yet. And that one, let's see, 252,583 was, there it is. It was well and methane gas sampling if TDEC required it. And that's what we're working on right now with your methane burner. It's under the gas part, so there will be some charges to that as we figure out what we can do with that.
Okay, so basically, what we need to do there is let that roll to next month, that's it. All right, is that, I apologize, on this item, I didn't bring my notes with me, so.
The biggest one is again on the closure, and there were some January charges that, as we had discussed before, we had expended the budget for our RPR and our geotech on our sampling and inspection at the landfill during the closure project. That budget, the original budget, I think, according to Stephanie, had gone over $6,500. And then we're gonna have costs associated with that through the completion of this closure. And I basically went and figured the cost all the way through the end of August. And as I said, if the weather holds and they keep moving the way they are, I think they'll be finished before then. But if you just look at those straight numbers, that increase on whatever PO, that's 252,597 would need to be about 85,000. With
An increase of 85,000?
Yeah, with the liquidated damages, should be, and again, if that goes all the way through the project, you'll recoup about 76.5 of that.
All right, Amy, two questions. On the capital projects, do those appropriations lapse with the fiscal year, or do they carry over?
They carry over.
The
material.
capital expenditure strictly.
And then how will we treat on the accounting side, the liquidated damages, the offsetting revenue?
Once it's complete, and we know that's,
Would it be netted against the expense number, or would it be shown on the income side?
Those are typically deducted from the pay request on a monthly basis.
Okay, so the expense would go down on the contractor side, but it'd still go up on your side.
Yeah.
So,
And by the way, those budgets are based on, me reducing our rates by probably 25%.
okay. So this is one we've been wrestling with the entire time with the closure contract. In order to get through, we need 85,000.
That's, yeah, because we still gotta do all the TDEC stuff at the end.
And that's the line item in your budget for capital expenses, closure engineering.
The TDEC, they're supposed to be done when, in June or July?
Their request was July 31st for substantial, and then final August 31st. So, there's, you know, you've been in on these contracts, once you get substantial complete, basically says it's operational, but then you've got,
Oh, punch list.
you've got punch list and
Yeah.
that'd be TDEC punch. list.
Oh, yeah, I know what punch list is.
That's- You took a few of those punch
Yeah.
lists.
But in order to move forward with the accounting system and not go over budget for the line item, we would need an additional appropriation on the expense side of $85,000 for engineering for closure.
So that would raise the 181.5 that we have on the closure to 266.5.
Yes, that's what I would have.
But we get 70-something thousand of that back.
That's right. We should have savings in the construction side of
I
offsetting.
would make the motion to amend that budget.
The motion, you've got the motion, Amy, numbers and line items. Motion, did I have a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any other comments, discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? So we'll reflect that in our financials as an adjusted budget. Anything else that, we need to bring to the floor this morning? Yes, Bill, the issue with, the state and the permit for the burner we discussed some time ago. I remember we talked about it. What was our game plan? Do you?
I think the concern was to make sure that we don't lose the ability to burn.
And
Is
I
that-
think,
I think that's what, and I have not
I think
had the
that's a
time to.
fair assessment of what I remember, but I was not relying on my memory well. Paula, in her last visit and laundry list of comments, was trying to get us to close that permit, which I don't think really we want to do. I think if we can keep that as an option going forward, if we ever give up that permit with
You never get it back.
it won't come back. So, Bill, where do we stand? Do you wanna carry that ball, or how do we move from where we are to respond to TDEC?
I can carry, I mean, I made the initial contacts and I'll follow through with it.
Yeah, there was some conversation, you may remember, about we could do it under a forestry permit but I think the risk of losing it altogether is probably too high to do that, so, Bill, if you could be on point for that one, and then we'll help wherever we need. All right, anything else? Folks, I appreciate it. I know it's been a full morning, but we'll get going. Next month will be a heavy month as well, based on all the outstanding policies. I'll try and get the RFP to you so you can look at it, and then we'll have a draft budget. So, eat a good, healthy breakfast next month. We'll see you then.